so I guess let's get started with the Q&A. So are you ready, Sarah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like really
She's
scared.
like kind of scared. I've been kind of hyping it up that there's some like really crazy questions on here, so.
I have not like seen any of these questions, so if it gets really weird and inappropriate,
it's my fault.
Sorry. It's a very exciting day for me, and I love this person sitting next to me. We just filmed a video upstairs.
We're laughing half the video, so
Yeah,
please excuse that. Actually, don't excuse it, just like embrace it.
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
All right.
Okay, so the first question is, Queen of Shadows is the 4th book in the Throne of Glass series. Can you tell us a little bit about the series and how it feels to be at book 4?
Oh, tell you guys a little bit about this giant epic fantasy series in like 2 sentences. So if you guys don't know what the Queen of Shadows book is about, if you don't know what the Throne of Glass series is, I'm not sure why you're here. Maybe you're here for Sasha. But it is about Selina Sardathian, aka someone else. I don't want to spoil things for people who aren't far in the series, so we'll go. If there are spoilers, I'll like give a little like disclaimer and you can plug your ears. But so it's about Selina, who's an infamous young female assassin. Did we do this question earlier? Yeah, upstairs. I'm like, why am I having deja vu right now?
Because you are.
And Selina lives in this really horrible, corrupt fantasy empire that like really sucks. Sucks to live there. And when the series begins, Selina is in slavery for her crimes as an assassin. And the series kind of follows her adventures as she goes from slavery to fighting for her freedom to like meeting a bunch of really hot dudes. That's the most important plot point.
Oh my
I think we can all agree about that.
Fearless guys.
And along the way, there are like really cool women, some witches thrown in, wyverns. Some really like unpronounceable names. I'm just gonna say it right now. It's Kayal. Kayal. Like, thanks. Like chaos. I was 16 when I came up with that name, and then I got emotionally attached to it. I should have called him like Connor or like Cameron, something that's like hot.
But Kayal's cool. It's kind of like Kal-El, like Superman, so it's like Kayal.
Yeah, that's true.
I like it.
I'm gonna tell people that's where I got my
No, then they'll get it. I like that.
Oh, so how does it feel to have the 4th book out? It's crazy. Like, it's been such a crazy ride. I began writing this book when I was 16. I actually got the idea when I was 15. I went to high school like 3 blocks away from here. So like if a building like burns down around here tonight, it's because I went back and got revenge on high school because it sucked. And in high school, I had friends, but I was kind of like a loner, and I was always in my head daydreaming. And writing became like my escape from like high school and like all the like bull crap that goes on there. So it's really like weird to be here, like talking about this book and this series that I started, kind of as a way to just like escape from my life, and because I love fantasy. And then just the journey, like once it's, been out there, like as a published series, has been crazy. You guys are amazing. The fan reaction has blown my mind. Like I don't really believe it. Like most days I'm like in yoga pants and like dirty t-shirts. Like I like walk my dog and like pick up her poop and like do like really normal, boring things. And so then like to go online and like have people like sending pictures of like the tattoos of quotes that they got for the, like it's like a weird disconnect almost where it's like a dream life, and like I go on tour and I get to like take showers every day, which like is the most inconvenient thing. Like every day I'm like, oh God, like I do it like mostly so you guys aren't grossed out by how horrible I look most of the time. This is a really sad story, but I was just at the gym like a couple days ago. I had my hair dyed after like 6 months of like not getting it cut. I looked awful, but my personal trainer saw me with my hair done and my makeup done, and she was like, who are you? Like who? She was like, I'm really liking this. Like her eyes got like all big, and I was like, she did not know like this. Yeah. She knew the reality, the like, writing for 12 hours a day reality. Mm-hmm. So it's really like surreal to like have this book out now, especially because I wrote Queen of Shadows as such a like whirlwind. Like the deadlines are pretty tight for me, because it's pretty important for me to make sure that you guys get these books like every single year. Mm-hmm. I grew up like with Harry Potter. Like I grew up waiting like 6 years between books. I went to the midnight release parties, so I know how it feels as a fan to like have to wait. So it's important for me to like stay on track with all of this, but that means like it's usually like deadline hell at my house. So it's like weird for Queen of Shadows to be like a real physical book now that you guys can read. And it's been really cool to see you guys like embrace Selina / you know who's adventure. Can I call her? I mean, like the A name, the A word.
Yeah,
Aelin?
I mean they had time to read it.
Yeah, it's like if whatever. Sorry if I'm spoiling. It's Aelin now, like officially. But if I refer to her as Selina, it's because for the first couple books, like she is Selina, but like Heir of Fire was the end of that.
And the beginning of another.
The beginning of a new adventure.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Quick question: who here has actually read Queen of Shadows yet? I know it came out just like at midnight today. Oh.
A couple of you.
A couple? Oh my god.
Okay.
That's awesome.
That's not enough to like spoil.
Oh gosh. Good luck, guys. It's an awesome read.
Good luck.
Good luck.
That's for the first
I showed
thing
Sarah. I showed Sarah this photo of me like being destroyed, but in the best way possible.
Like she looked like she had ripped her hair out. Like they were like, like she's so glam in all her photos, and I was like, wow. Like, you look like me at the gym. Like you look like.
Oh, that's me half the time before like I actually film a video.
Yeah, you're like we like put on a face.
I know.
This is all smoke and mirrors for you.
Yeah. All lights actually.
Yes.
Okay, are you ready for the second question?
Yes.
So going back to how you wrote Throne of Glass as a teenager, how much has Selina changed in that time?
Ooh, that's an interesting question. Selina was a character who kind of walked into my head fully formed. And I talked a little bit about this today in an interview for like the first time ever. But when I first got the idea for this story, it was while listening to the Cinderella soundtrack from like the original Disney cartoon. Mm-hmm. Now I have to like specify which Cinderella film, which
There's
sucks.
So many.
Well, like no, like there's like the live action one that just came out, which is just gets confusing. But so I was listening to the Cinderella soundtrack, and I thought that the music that plays when Cinderella leaves the ball was like really dark and intense and didn't fit that scene. And so I thought, well, what if Cinderella had done something to really like merit this epic freak out that they have? Like, what if she had just tried to kill the prince and staged an epic escape as the clock struck 12, slipped out the gates? That's why they sent the royal guard to hunt her down. And so that's where the first little kernel of Selina came from, where I was like, who is this Cinderella assassin? Like almost like a Buffy the Vampire Slayer type, where she was the girly girl who loved getting dressed up to go to the ball and then like loved brutally killing people. And so Selina kind of walked right into my head fully formed and was like, hey, your life's over. I'm your new master. Goodbye. But then a couple of days later, I was actually listening to the Swan Lake score. I'm a huge ballet fan. And so there was a second piece of music that actually became the bigger piece of music that I've never been able to really talk about. And the Swan Lake finale wound up inspiring Aelin and who she is. And it inspires a scene, the climax of Queen of Shadows. I won't spoil it, but the big moment. It inspired that, and that kind of became like the guiding star for who I wanted Selina to go from at the beginning to like who she winds up as Aelin. And over the years, Selina has, I mean, she pretty much walked into my head fully formed, but she still had lots of secrets, things that, you know, even I as the writer didn't know. And I've been writing her for 14 years now, and she still surprises me. And one of the things that I think is, you know, really important for my writing at least is to trust my instinct and to let my characters guide the story, which means that even when I have things like planned out, like that I've been working towards for years, sometimes like Selina will be like, no, I don't want to do that. We're going to do this instead. And when I would fight those things and try and force the characters into like, you know, the little paths that I'd laid out for them, it never felt genuine and real. But when I let the characters kind of just lead the way, even if it wasn't what I had planned for, it kind of came alive for me. So Selina, because of that, has just kept surprising me over these years. But she's still very much the sassy, arrogant assassin that walked into my head. I've just learned more about her. I don't think she's really changed that much. I've just understood her more. And it's been weird to kind of grow up with her too, because I started writing this as a teenager, and she's a teenager at the start of the series, and she's still young, but I've, you know, kind of grown up, and I can see my like journey from teenagehood to like crypt keeper.
We're the only ones gonna get that, actually. I'm sorry.
Sorry, it's been a long day. Yeah, I can kind of see like that, like my own personal journey, like between the words of the book. But so she still surprises me. She still has like little tidbits where I'm like, oh snap, like that's why you did that. And I think that's why I love writing, is because it always surprises me, and I love learning new things about my characters and like their world too.
Oh my gosh, yay.
Yay!
Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, so this is good. I think I know your answer to this one, but what is your favorite scene to write? Is it an action scene, a sad one, or a sexy fun time one?
Oh God, okay. It's like it's honestly a tie between like the really like steamy times scenes or like the big action scenes. And I think it's because both of those are like payoff scenes that I've been building towards, and it's kind of this explosion of like feelings and stuff. There's a scene in Queen of Shadows with, I can't even talk about this book now. There's so many like payoff type scenes in Queen of Shadows that it was like so like emotionally exhausting for me to write, because I was just like, yes, like we're finally doing this. All this stuff's coming together. But I love writing like the action scenes when it's like two characters meet in Queen of Shadows and things don't go well, as you might imagine, between two very arrogant females. And that scene, like when that came together, I was like, I couldn't even like sit in my seat. I was like standing up typing, and then I was like, oh my God, it's happening. It's really happening. It's not a dream. Like I was like in this weird place of like being like the passenger, like witnessing things, and then like steering the ship as well, where I just was like out of control. I had no idea what was going on. I just was really psyched for that. But then the steamy times too, and like that I usually like, I don't know, like that I get like more like into like the finer details.
Oh yeah.
But then I'm like, should I have a glass of wine while I'm writing this? I'm like, for the ACOTAR, there's an ACOTAR intimate scene that I actually had to have a glass of wine before I could write, because I just was like, I was like blushing. I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. This is so embarrassing. Like my grandma's gonna read this. My family's not allowed to read book 2. You're all, don't read book 2. It's very inappropriate, and you won't be able to talk to me ever again. Like I do think about these things when I'm writing. I'm like, oh God, like my family's gonna read this and like know what I'm really interested in. It's so embarrassing. It's like, you know, like you're getting like just out there for everyone.
Some good family dinner conversation.
No. No one's allowed to speak to me.
No book talk at the family dinner table.
That should be the new rule.
Yeah.
Ask me anything about that stuff.
None. So. Okay, so the next question is, favorite character to write?
Ooh. Out of like Throne of Glass or ACOTAR? Or like
all the everything.
Oh my God. Ooh. Okay, if Selina's off the table, let's just take Selina off the table. My answer for everything, like who do I love the most? Always Selina. She just is off the table. So let's see. I feel like Manon might be my favorite, because she does all the horrible things that I wish I could do to people. Like every awful thought I have. Like there's a part in Queen of Shadows, this isn't a spoiler really, where she imagines flipping over this glass table and using the shards to like stab someone. And like I must have been in a really bad mood that day, because that sounded like really appealing to me.
Yeah.
And Manon is pretty unpredictable for me too. So like I'll turn on the computer and I'll be like, oh God, it's a Manon scene today. Like what's gonna happen? And then like really horrible things happen, and like she's like a weird glimpse into my psyche probably. Like I feel like it's like a miracle no one's reported me to the police. Like I would love to. We just today like Manon like has like an iron grill. We realized that like pops down like a badass like grill, and like her teeth, and like she is just like, I love Manon. Yeah. Manon and the 13 are like a motorcycle gang, basically.
So true.
They're like a flying motorcycle gang. They're like the Sons of Anarchy. Like the fantasy.
Who can fly?
So yeah, I love writing Manon. I love writing Reese from ACOTAR.
All the giggles.
Thank you for that. He has a very complicated male I'm like thinking about everything that I know and you don't know. Such a sense of power. All these secrets.
Oh my gosh, I want to know all these secrets.
I'll whisper them to you later.
Please.
I won't. No, I won't.
Please.
Maybe.
Maybe. I'll give you Pocket Jamie.
Okay. Sasha has like a Pocket Jamie. Like you guys know what Pocket Jamie is from Outlander? Okay.
Good.
So Sasha has one, and I have two. But she has one but it's not like the usual Pocket Jamie where it's like a cutout of his body. It's like if the police found her like wallet, like they would think that he was her husband because it's like a little like ID card basically with his face. Like she was showing it to me. I was like, this is what you're gonna tell the cops. Like my husband's missing.
Yeah, please help it.
And they would find Sam for you, and then
They think I'm like a psycho, but I'm okay with that because
he's
it's
a
Sam.
flawless human being.
He's beautiful. That kill.
But he's Jamie. Like I can't separate the
No.
human being from his character. Like he's just.
You don't need to.
Like it's just
Just embrace
it's Jamie
it.
in the real world.
I know.
Like,
Hey Jamie, where's your kilt? Okay. So.
Okay.
Okay. Enough about Jamie talk. Well, then he may come up later, but you'll see.
I'm gonna spit my water like all over this.
Like I did earlier. Okay, so speaking of characters, yours have the best names, but they're also very tough to pronounce. Can you like do some pronunciations?
Yes. I've had a bunch of like a video, which I should do. But
Susan
like,
did one.
I know, but like I'm so dirty all the time that like that means I have to shower and do my makeup and my hair, so you're not like, ugh, what is that? Which is like a time investment, and I want to write the books. All right, I'm just gonna like rattle them off. We got Selina Sardathian, Kaol Westfall, Dorian Haviliard, Nehemia Yitger, Kaltain Rompierre. Who else? Aelin Ash River Galathinius.
All their gasps was like, oh, that's how you pronounce it.
Adian Ash River, Manon Blackbeak, Asterin Blackbeak. Let's see, do I need to rattle off the 13?
Do like Akotar.
Oh, Feyre, Reese, Tamlin, Lucian, Amarantha.
I think
That's like it.
the bulk of them.
Small cast.
Yeah.
Reese Sand is the full. Reese.
Oh yeah, Reese.
I
think it's like
who else? Who else is like weird? Like who has a weird name that's hard to pronounce? Everyone.
everybody. Yeah.
Maeve, Lorcan, Gavriel.
You should make a video.
I should.
I'll film it for
With, like,
you.
A list of everyone.
Just ask Susan to do it. She did hers
Yeah.
really well.
I was like, Susan, you have more time than me.
Here you go.
Writing your own books, like your own epic.
Just do it,
fantasy
please.
novel.
Are those all the names?
Hmm?
Are those all them
All the names.
that you can think of? I think that's all.
Why are you giving me like a look? Like
I don't know, just kidding.
You just got like a very serious look. Oh my God, who am I forgetting?
I don't think you're forgetting anybody.
Harrington.
I think you're good. That's all.
Elite.
Those were all that
King's
were
name is a secret.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's like a deliberate. Like I've not just been like, oh, like his name is like King.
Yeah, okay.
Let's pretend that's his name. His name is.
Can that be his
King.
name?
Yes, his name is King.
So anticlimactic. Okay, so the next question is, if you had to live like if you had to live your life as one of your characters for the length of only one of your books, which would you choose? Any books that you've written.
If I had to live like as one of.
Just for one of the books.
I mean, like, if I say Manon, like, will that disturb everyone?
No, it's fine.
I would maybe like want to be like Fleetfoot.
Oh.
Because I would get fed and like brushed by Dorian, and I would get to like chill with Selena, and then like just like go do dog things.
Yeah.
Not have any responsibilities. That would be nice.
That'd be really nice. Don't have to kill anybody.
And like Fleetfoot's the only guaranteed survivor of this series.
Good. Yeah, everybody's like,
Take that to the bank.
as long as the dog lives.
Oh my God, no! If like I would never do that. I remember Hedwig. I remember.
You don't. Oh my God, me! She's just reading Harry Potter. Oh my God, I want to kill myself. It's okay, we're gonna find out anyway.
Oh my God! Now I'll tell you ACOTAR 2 secrets to make up up for ruining that. Oh my god.
And leaving it out.
I've done the thing that I never wanted. I agonize over when I have children one day, how will I keep Harry Potter and Star Wars secrets from them?
Yeah.
Oh my god. This is the worst thing I've ever done to another person.
I probably would have found out anyways. I've been searching their Wikia pages, so.
Okay.
It's all good. Okay, so moving on. So the same question, but for somebody else's book, which book/character would you choose?
Ooh.
So many.
Ooh. I mean, if I'm Claire from Outlander, that means I get to be with Jamie. Claire, once Frank is out of the picture.
Yeah. Just boom out of there.
So leading up to the wedding night, Claire.
Oh yeah.
Claire from 3 days before the wedding night and then onward.
Yeah, I mean that's
sorry,
good.
husband. I would want, but then Claire goes through so many horrible things. I wouldn't want to deal with that.
True.
What's a character that doesn't suffer and is really lazy and watches TV all day?
I know one, but I feel bad about saying
That's the character I would be.
I know one.
Jabba the Hutt.
Do it.
Star Wars. That's who I'd want to be on my pleasure barge cruising around.
Oh gosh.
Before I get strangled by Leia.
Okay. So, what were your favorite books to read as a kid?
There's so many. What age bracket are we talking?
How about young adult?
Okay. So when I was 12 years old, I was this weird, not weird, but what I believe to be weird mixture of girly girl, what society calls girly girl things, and tomboy things. And those are just bullcrap labels that don't mean anything. But back in the 90s, they did. And so I loved girl things like nail polish and shoes and dresses and getting my hair done. And then I liked boy things like Star Wars and Indiana Jones and anime. And I felt I had to pick between these two parts of me. And so I went with the girly girl part because I wanted to flirt with boys, and I thought that meant I had to never ever talk about Star Wars or the dorky stuff. It's now cool to like these things. I grew up 20 years too young. Tumblr would have been my favorite thing when I was younger. Where was that when I was growing up? So I picked the girly girl stuff. And I'd been a big reader until then, but I stopped reading because that was dorky. How dare you? I can't see where you are, but I can hear you. We're gonna send Manon after you. And by Manon, I mean me, my alter ego.
With your scary ring.
With my scary ring. But so I stopped reading, and I became kind of a willing airhead, where I just pretended that I was kind of just stupid, and I flirted with boys, which is fine. I love flirting with boys. But I stopped reading, and I had this great teacher that year who noticed that I had stopped reading, and I hated the books I read in school. They were so boring. They didn't have magic or princes or dragons, any of the stuff that I loved reading about. Mm-hmm. And so my parents were called in for a parent-teacher conference with this teacher, and he said, look, Sarah is not the brightest student in our class, but she's not the worst student. It was just school, when I applied myself, I did well in school, but if I didn't care, it was not my thing. No. But he said, Sarah's not reading, and if she doesn't like the books that she's reading in class, then take her to the bookstore and don't hover, don't give an opinion, don't even make a face, just let her pick out whatever books she wants to read. And so my parents are huge readers. They're here tonight in the splash zone. Yay for parents. So my parents brought me to the bookstore that day, and they set me loose. I said, go be with God in the bookstore, go be free. And that day I walked out with Robin McKinley's The Hero and the Crown and Garth Nix's Sabriel. And those are two classic fantasy books where the girls get to save the day. And there is magic and horrible creatures and romance, and all the parts of me that I thought I had to choose between were all in one place. And I realized I didn't have to pick between the girly girl and the tomboy side. I could be both of those things. And so those books also made me realize that I loved fantasy. And so I just began devouring anything I could get my hands on in the fantasy genre. And the young adult section back then was like 2 shelves in the back of the store. There were like cobwebs, scorpions crawling around.
Sad times.
It was like it was a dark time for young adult. So I just wandered over to the adult fantasy section and devoured that too. But those 2 books were kind of my like gateway, not just into like writing, but into like embracing who I am as a person. So now like, I love getting my nails done, and then I also love like talking about killing people with shards of glass from a table. But then a couple years later, or maybe like a year later, Buffy the Vampire Slayer started airing on TV. And Buffy was another, cheerleader who gets to be the Slayer. That was who I wanted to be in my life. So, but The Hero and the Crown and Sabriel are still like 2 of my favorite books ever. And it was like my gateway drug to young adult fantasy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I actually got to do a panel with Garth Nix this past April, and like I felt like such a stalker. like the questions were like, so how did you get into writing? Like, what are some of your favorite books? And like every single answer, I'd like look over at him and I'd be like, you, sir. And I brought my copy of Sabriel that I've had since I was 12 and had him sign it. I'd like written my name in like those like jelly roll pens that were like all glittery. It was really embarrassing that he had to like sign on top of that. But yeah, that was like a big dream come true, like what is my life moment. And then I was signing like next to him afterwards, and I just was like, I can't emotionally
I can't even
handle. Yeah, I just wanted to like crawl under the table and cry.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I probably would have, so.
Well, then he
You
like
did way
sat
less
with
than
me
I
at
would've.
lunch, like later, like he came over to my table where I was sitting alone and sat with me, and I was just like, it's like having the cool kid in school with you. I was like, I didn't scare you off with my like stalking and freakish answers.
Obviously not.
He was an awesome dude.
Oh my gosh. I need to read that, Sabriel.
Yeah.
Been on my TBR for so long.
It's really good.
I have a big
And the
TBR.
sequel, Lyriel, is amazing. It's set in like a library, like a magic library under the ground.
Oh, I'm gonna buy that book tomorrow then.
After Harry Potter, now that I've ruined
Yeah.
Harry Potter for you.
It's okay, you're gonna like make it equal, so it's all good.
I will. I feel really bad. Like, I'm gonna like wake up in the middle of the night and be like, what did I do to this?
She'll have nightmares. It's okay. Okay, then this is like the last question before we're gonna before I'm gonna ask you guys to start thinking of some questions to ask Sarah. So get your minds brainstorming. So this question is, for those who haven't read Queen of Shadows yet, will you give us a couple of your least spoilery spoilers? I mean, non-spoilery spoilers, like don't spoil.
Okay, so like tell you stuff without telling you anything.
Yeah.
So I've said this before, so I can say it now. So Aelin and Manon do meet. I already hinted at that.
So good.
And that's one of my favorite scenes that I've ever written.
It was epic.
That was like, that scene is pretty much untouched from like what came out of me like in the first draft, which is really weird. Usually like everything gets like ripped to shreds. Actually, the entire last like third of the book is.
It
mostly
empowers you.
untouched.
It
Yeah.
literally like I was at the edge of my seat. I'm like, oh Sarah, yes.
Well, that's like I was writing it and I was like, oh my God, it's really happening. Like they're meeting and like things
so
are
epic.
going well, and like they both have such attitude problems, and it's just so
So
great.
perfect.
There are a lot of reunions between various characters. I'm trying to imagine like what you are thinking versus what I know. If you've read the novellas, The Assassin's Blade, a lot of those characters come back. Sam is dead. He doesn't come back. Like there's no resurrection. I'm just gonna put the nail in that coffin, literally.
Hammer it in.
Arobin, Selena's, oh, that's a name. Arobin
yeah.
Mel. Selena's master, he's in the book. I just described him in an interview as a douche canoe. That's
so
my
accurate.
professional opinion. What else about Queen of Shadows that's non-spoilery? Fleetfoot is in the book.
Oh, I love Fleetfoot.
She's a very good dog.
Yeah. I wish my dogs were as good as her, but they
Yeah,
aren't.
she's like my dream dog where she's well behaved, doesn't like beat me up. Like I have bruises all over my legs from my dog who just like jumps on me all the time and doesn't realize that she's built like a brick. And my dog just like, she runs our entire household. Like we are her slaves. She is our overlord.
I think that's it for all dogs. Like my dogs, like they love my family, but they also hate us, so they decide to pee on everything.
Oh my God!
One of them decided to be a book just a few weeks ago, and I picked that up for a book haul, and that was just love. It's in the book haul, so.
These are bad dogs.
I know, they're horrible, but I love them so much, my babies.
I know.
It's my fault that they're this bad.
Well, Fleetfoot's like the dream. Fleetfoot's like the Mary Sue of dogs, where she's perfect and everyone loves her and she does nothing bad.
But she is.
So, douche canoe, Mary Sue of dogs.
Okay, so this is our last question that I have to ask you, and it's a lightning round, so I'm just going to be shooting these off. Okay. You can take your time with them, though. These are really fun. Okay, so favorite Disney princess?
If we're talking like royally born princesses, or like just considering every heroine as
heroine, yeah, like.
I recently like rewatched Mulan. I was sobbing on the couch, like ugly crying, like literally like shaking, like like the ugliest tears. And like I loved that movie when I was like growing up, but like as an adult, like Crypt Keeper now, there was so much more that I just like saw in the movie, and then also I feel like we've taken some steps back in terms of like the girl power movement. And I was just like, Disney needs to like release this now. Yeah. And people told me that they're doing a live action version of Mulan.
Yeah.
What?
Where is that?
I want to write that script. I know. I want to write it. Oh my God, it's gonna be amazing. So I love Mulan. Belle is amazing.
Oh yeah.
I felt like Belle every single day in high school. I literally read books in the hallway. I've done
that.
I
ran into a door and I have a scar on my foot to prove it. So.
Oh my.
Do you see that?
Yes.
It's actually a bookshelf that I ran into, but I say it's a door, so it's more socially acceptable. But I'll tweet out a picture. It's quite funny. Okay. Oh, next question. Favorite Disney villain?
Ooh, Disney villains. Trying to think of who freaks me out the most. Maleficent is just.
I love her.
She's never like scared me in any way. Like
she's so cool.
I know I've been dazzled by her as from when I was a little kid. She just like owns it, like everything. Like she doesn't care about the stupid like party and the fairies. She has like her castle. It's falling apart. Hello.
Yeah.
Maleficent, and then I was like, my husband went away for the weekend and I was working. That's why I sent him away, but then I wound up watching Tangled. I watched Ever After and then Tangled. I was like, why not? Just like keep binge watching fairy tale things while my husband's away. Because he won't let me watch those things when he's around. He gets bored by them. And so Mother Gothel in Tangled is so emotionally manipulative and horrible. She's like a real villain where you could actually see her like in your real life, and that makes her really terrifying. But then I love like Ursula from The Little Mermaid, even though she gets like impaled by a ship. It's like the worst. That's the most like horrible Disney death. Like forget like Mufasa. Like Ursula being impaled and seeing her skeleton light up. That's pretty horrible.
I think that scarred me as a child actually. That I actually like put it on my brain up until now.
Yep. Now you're gonna dream about that. Hedwig and
lovely.
Ursula.
Oh my God. Today's gonna be a really interesting night when I go to bed. Probably won't sleep. Okay, so next one is, what Hogwarts house would you be sorted into?
I think Gryffindor. I'm wearing my Gryffindor gold and red tonight.
I think Hufflepuff for you would be the worst.
Oh,
you'd be like, no.
I would like murder everyone in Hufflepuff. It would be like putting a fox in the chicken in Hufflepuff, destroy it from the inside. I think I'm like a hybrid, a Slitherdor. Is that what it's called, Slitherdor? Like the Slytherin Gryffindor hybrid? I would live in both. I'd live in the dungeon and in the tower.
Do whatever.
Yeah.
Do what you want.
I think I'm a Gryffindor. I don't know, but now so many of you said Slytherin.
Yeah.
It's so hard. I feel like, are you judging me? Is that because I'm like Manon inside with my like predator ring? I don't want to live in the dungeon though. Like it's like dirty and gross down there. And
It is gross.
Like I just want to live in the tower room. Gryffindor.
Live in the tower and then just go down to say hi to your Slytherin friends like once in a while.
Yeah, I would have allies in Slytherin.
Yeah.
I'd be like the bad Gryffindor.
Is that even a thing? Well, I don't know yet. I guess I have to keep on reading.
Oh, I almost. Oh, you'll find
Moving on, what emoji best represents you?
emoji.
Yeah.
I always use like the sunglasses emoji, like weird
Me too.
stuff. I feel like that's.
I do like the sly smile.
I like the one where it's like a resigned face, where like the it's like I don't even know how to do it. Where like,
like
the
silent.
eyebrows are like lifted
Yeah.
up, and it like looks like very just like resigned to
Yeah.
its fate. Which is not me. It's just a funny one. I also like the one that's just like lines for eyes in the mouth, where it's just like, which is like it's like like that, and I make that sound a lot. But emoji with sunglasses,
Yeah.
maybe. I wish I was that cool. That's my aspiration, is to be emoji with sunglasses.
It's all
I'm
good.
probably like the sweating like half blue emoji. It's like gross and sad.
Okay, this one, oh wait, the next one is really good. Okay, so this one is favorite current TV show.
Oh my God, I watch so much TV, you guys don't even know. I have so many. Okay, I love The 100. Thank you. Oh my God. Bellamy is my sweet dark prince. I love Black Sails, which no one but me watches.
Oh, I want to watch that.
You would love it.
I know.
God,
I
you have to watch the show.
I can marathon it.
Outlander, obviously. What else do I love? I love Teen Wolf. And then like I watch like random crap on TV all the time. Like if anything's like on TV, I will watch it.
Yeah. Okay, this one is actually quite convenient because, okay, I'll just start. Okay, we're gonna play Kiss, Marry, Kill. So, Jamie from Outlander, Bellamy from The 100, and Cam from Wait For You.
That's the most unfair. Unfair. I have to kill.
Yeah. You create a mana, you can kill something. She's like,
This is the worst question I've ever been asked in my life. Okay.
thank Lizzie for it.
Yeah, thanks, Lizzie. Let's see. Kill. I can't kill. I would kill myself rather than any of them. There we go. Marry. I want to say like Jamie, but then I worry that he and I would like butt heads all the time and we'd just like scream at each other.
But like him and Claire scream at each other all the time and they're still together, so.
I know, but then like would I get exhausted by that after a while? Like I would want to break him, like break him to my will. Like he and I would just not be able. Like I think like I would want to kiss Jamie and then marry Bellamy. Bellamy's got like. I think Bellamy would like be passive enough to satisfy me. Like I'd be like, do this, and he would go do it.
Like, okay, I'll do it for you, honey.
But then like he would get in my face. Like he would challenge me when I need to be challenged.
Yeah.
But then like he would also be willing to like bend. I don't know.
Be very
Jamie,
supportive.
Like I don't know. This is a very hard.
Jamie is just like really nice to look at, so.
I know. Well, that's why like the physical thing we could do, but I don't know.
This is the PG version.
I worry about our two like dominant personalities like clashing too much.
It's okay, I'll take Jamie if you don't.
Okay, you can have Jamie.
Thanks.
Once after I'm done with him.
Yeah.
Sorry, everyone.
We have weird humor. Okay, so this next one, you may have a few answers for it, but what's one thing that makes you cry?
Oh my God, everything.
Yeah.
Cry. Those horrible commercials for like the animal shelters.
I turned those off. I'm so sad.
I changed.
Makes me sad.
Channel. There's an ad for Google now where it's like an old dog that's like being taken around like the U.S. by its like owner, like because it like fulfilling the old dog's like bucket list. Every time I see it, it ruins my whole day.
That just ruined like my heart.
It's like don't ever Google like the Google dog ad because it will wreck you. I don't know, like music makes me cry all the time. I'm a very emotional person. I feel like you guys will all think I'm very like mentally unhinged after this event because everything makes me cry. I'm just very like in touch with my feelings. I cry all the time in movies too. Like it
me
takes
too.
nothing to make me cry.
I cry so easily too, but it's okay. I mean, crying
Tears
shows
are, like,
emotion.
Exactly.
Like,
I
you
never
don't wanna be
thought tears were
emotionless.
embarrassing. People always apologize for crying, and then I'm just
It's like, oh, don't, just cry.
yeah,
Just don't make it too awkward.
It's good for your eyes.
Oh, yes. Okay, now what's one, and this is the last one of these questions before we move on to some of your guys' questions, and it's what's one thing that makes you laugh?
Makes me laugh. Everything. I mean, like we've been laughing. Like,
Music blasting in your ears while we film a video.
Bagpipes blasting in my ears. Sasha and I played a game upstairs.
Okay.
Where I had to like have headphones on and she was blasting like bagpipe music.
I think I made her go deaf for a little bit.
It was horror. Like my brain was like rattling around in my skull, but she would read lines from my book and I had to like guess what she was saying.
And you were good at it. It was creepy.
I
She was like, I'm like, are you sure you cannot like
I'm a lip
hear?
reader.
You're a lip reader, yeah.
What makes me laugh? Everything makes me laugh. I laugh as much as I cry, I think, actually.
Yeah.
I try not to take myself too seriously, in case you couldn't tell. But yeah, I don't know, my husband makes me laugh a lot. Yeah.
Aww.
That's why I married him. Find a person with a good sense of humor.
Very true. Okay, so now we're going to move on to some fan questions from you guys. And I apologize if I pronounce any of your guys' names wrong ahead of time, because I probably will. I'm really bad at pronunciations. So the first one is from Veronica and Lorena. And they asked, how do you come up with such awesome character names? Do you go to graveyards? I like that one.
Yes, I do. I wear my cloak. I go to graveyards.
Creepy.
I just find.
You a vampire?
I am. I pretend to be a vampire stalking through the graveyards. So I'm actually just living out my Buffy fantasies. But my naming process is kind of just like whatever. Sometimes a character name will just like hit me, and that's that. Sometimes I will like actually Google like ancient Greek names that mean warrior for the character, and then I will just like compile lists of names that I like the sound of, and I'll narrow it down. Sometimes like with my friends, like if someone like, this is so horrible, but like if there's like a random very small character that like needs to die, like a random guard who like Selina just like guts, like I'll ask my friends like, who were your like middle school bullies? There's a guy named Philip in the Assassin's Blade that was like a real tormentor of one of my friends while she was growing up. He meets a bad end, but I like make them like fantasy-ish, so like there's no way to like find out. Like sometimes I'll like throw my friends' names in like randomly. There's like a Diana Bracken in the book. It's Alex Bracken, who's a YA author, one of my buddies. Irene Towers is a character in the series from the novellas, and Towers is like the maiden name of like Susan Dennard's like mother. There are like lots of like little like inside jokes in all the names. I have the place names too are a little kind of like whatever-ish sometimes. There's a place currently, it might change, named the Cliffs of Bellark. Like after like Bellamy Clark ship. Is that how you say it? Is it Bellarky? Bellark? So I put that in there. There's a guy in ACOTAR that Feyre is hooking up with at the start of the novel. His name is Isaac Hale. That is from Isaac from Teen Wolf and and it's not like some like Tolkien-esque like naming process where I'm like, you know, like let me invent like a whole language and like make names that are no. Like sometimes I'll hear the names or I'll like research stuff, or then I'll just like throw in like little inside jokes. It's like fun for me. Though I recently I'm just finishing up edits on the second ACOTAR novel, and I'd had like placeholder names, and I had to actually go officially name them, and I was like, crap, this is like pressure.
Yeah.
Like, how do you find like hot names? Like what names sound hot? That's like my biggest, like for dudes, I'm like, is this a hot name? That's my number one criteria.
I mean, like you can name a guy Sasha. It's like a dual name.
Oh yeah.
And like
you'll like Fleetfoot will get a companion.
Sasha's also a dog name.
Sasha
it's very
will
popular.
Be the dog that shows up, and Fleetfoot has to teach a lesson about.
Spell it S-A-C-H-A.
Okay.
Be like, hey, Sasha. No, you don't have to do that. Okay, so next question is, when you started writing Aylin's story, did you know how it would end, or has it changed throughout the years?
It's changed like a buttload of times. Sometimes I'll have plans and then the characters say, nope, we're not doing that. And sometimes like the things that I have planned do happen. Like the big climax in Queen of Shadows is pretty much the same from how I imagined it at age 15, 16. But then like other little details wind up changing. I do now have an ending for the series in mind that I am like steering everything towards. You guys like sound so scared. It's amazing. So much
She's like, it's so epic. It'd be awesome.
And that, I like came up with the idea for that like a couple years ago. I really like it. We'll see if the characters like want to go there. But yeah, so like I try to like be flexible though with the plans. Like if something's just not working, like if it doesn't like it's not on the right frequency within the story, even though I've planned it for a while, like I'm not gonna go that way. I believe, again, like in trusting my gut and listening to what the characters want to do and letting them, especially Selina, just guide the story where they want to go. But yeah, so like some things, like the ending now, I hope to God is the end. If I come up with a new one, like I might like pull all my hair out and look like you did in that photo.
Oh my God. I'll tweet that one out too, because I think you all will find that entertaining. I know Sarah did. She's like,
I might have gotten
she got
pleasure.
Yeah.
How horrible you looked in that.
I'll send it to you.
So cute, but like just you're so glam.
I look like I just heard like that my animal died, but instead it was like nobody.
It was Queen of Shadows.
It's Queen of Shadows.
That's what it does to people.
It does.
Be careful.
So good though, guys. Okay, this next question I really like actually, and I think it's from Claire S. I can't really read it, but so the world is about to end. Who is on your apocalypse dream team? 5 fictional characters.
Ooh. All right, Buffy. Buffy's on.
Good choice.
Are we talking like any kind of like media?
Yeah.
Okay. Buffy. Oh my God, so many. I mean, like there's some characters that are like so powerful that like they could just, within reason, like their powers have to be within reason. Yeah. Buffy, Batman.
Oh yeah.
For the looks, for the Christian Bale as Batman, for eye candy. Who else? Ooh. Apocalypse team. Who's like really smart? Hermione.
Oh.
I want her on my team.
She'll be really
Girlfriend
good.
is awesome. So that's 3.
Bellamy.
Bellamy for the looks. In case I get sick of Christian.
Have your like options. Okay, switch places. Stare at them.
Else. Oh my God, this is like the hardest question, like narrowing it down.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many possibilities.
Good question.
Ooh, maybe like Ellen Ripley from Alien. No one, you know, I'm obsessed with Alien. My phone case is the xenomorph, like the alien creature. She just like with a flamethrower. I'd want her there. Yes, yes. And that's maybe we'll add Starbuck from Battlestar Galactica.
I thought you were gonna say Starbucks, and I'm like, no.
Yes, we would need that.
Starbucks, just in case.
Just literally all of Starbucks helping me.
I mean, they're really nice people who work there, so why not? Okay.
Kate, like the female, the legit Starbuck, not the dude. We've got our eye candy, this team. We need the female power.
Okay, so do you have any songs that remind you of your characters?
I do. I have a lot of songs. I actually like just joined Spotify to upload my playlists for my books because I keep very extensive playlists for each of my books that basically provide like an outline for the story. And when I get a story idea for any of my books, I'll begin a playlist in iTunes and I'll start adding songs that make me think of it or think of like events and scenes. And as I write the novel, I'll keep adding the music that inspires each scene. And by the time I get to the end of a book, I'll have basically in musical form the outline of my entire novel. So when I'm editing a book, I can just like click on a song in the middle of wherever, if it's like a scene in the middle of the book, and I'll get like into my characters' heads that way. And music is very much like a gateway into all my characters' heads. So after years of like keeping these playlists to myself, finally enough of you guys were like, can you please share them? And I was like, okay, I guess. So I joined Spotify, and we have the ACOTAR playlist, and then as of today, the Queen of Shadows playlist just went up. So there are lots of songs that make me think of the characters. I listen to a lot of Kanye for Selina / Aelin, which like, it helps me get into her head. I don't know what it is. Like, it's something about like the frequency of that music, and I can just channel it. There are like too many. I'm like, go on my Spotify playlist. Or maybe
Spotify, what's its name? What's your name of your Spotify?
The Real SJ Maas. Because
like your Instagram.
Like my Instagram. I feel like SJ Maas was taken, maybe.
It was taken, and then you got to do the. Yeah. How do I know this?
On Instagram, it was taken, which was a weird scenario.
But you're finally on there.
But yeah, now I'm on Insta. Is it cool to call it Insta?
Insta, that's what I call it, because I'm too lazy to say Instagram.
Well, I'm like so old. Like
I call it IG sometimes, but nobody knows what I'm talking about, so it's kind of awkward. Okay, this is actually, I'm excited to know what your answer is going to be. Which new character are you most excited for us to meet? I mean, this is for Queen of Shadows, so I probably already know, but.
New characters for Queen of Shadows. It's such a spoiler to like talk about some of the new ones.
Then like.
Well, and like some of them have come back. Like I would say Lysandra from the novellas. She comes back in Queen of Shadows, and she has some of my favorite scenes in the entire
She's
book.
so cool.
She is my favorite right now. So I'm really excited for you guys to meet her and see how her friendship or enemyship with Aelin pans out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So good, so good. Okay, so I'm like freaking out here. I'm like, yes, people finally get to read it.
I know.
Oh my gosh. So, okay, so this one says, when world building, what's the first thing that makes it real for you?
Oh man. I mean, I don't actively sit down and go like, it's time to world build.
Go do it.
I mean, my characters are very much a product of their world. And you know, I do love the moments where I've been writing this series for 14 years, and I love the moments where I discover hidden pockets within the world, like the Stygian spiders. If you guys have read Air of Fire or the novellas, there's a mention of these horrible creatures, and they were a surprise for me. I was writing The Assassin and the Desert, where they're first mentioned, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, these spiders who live in the mountains and weave spider silk just appeared, and like I had not planned for that, and it just came out of me, and I was like, where in this did that come from? And so I love being surprised like that, and I love tying the world building to the character growth and like what's going on, and at any given time in the book, I do know like what's going on in every single part of the continent and like what the conflicts are, and sometimes that makes it onto the page, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, I like discovering like the little pieces of the world that I didn't really expect to see coming.
Okay, and this is the last question, and it says, is Baba Yellowlegs named after a Baba Yaga?
I love this question. Okay, so the Iron Teeth witches were very much inspired by various witch mythology from all over the world, but Baba Yellowlegs was inspired by Baba Yaga from Russian folklore, who is like one of these nightmarish figures who, if you guys should just Google Baba Yaga, you will have nightmares forever.
Have fun.
She's this like old woman who lives in a hut that stands on like chickens' feet and can like run around in the woods, and she's like, it's like built out of bones and it reeks of death inside, and she has iron teeth. And I have this beautiful illustrated picture book of one of the legends that features her. It's called Vasilisa the Brave. The original story is called Vasilisa the Beautiful. This is a feminist retelling, so we got rid of beautiful, made her brave, which I approve of. And in this book, there's this full-page illustration of Baba Yaga, like a portrait, and she has these iron teeth in it that are so horrible, and it just stuck in the back of my mind. And Baba Yellowlegs and her carnival just kind of like rolled up, literally like rolled up from the castle. And she was kind of this combination of all these dreams and nightmares that I'd had for years. And then the witches, I took pieces from Baba Yaga legends for the Iron Teeth witches, but then also from, witch mythology. And I I love like playing with the witches and their whole society because it's just like so brutal. I don't know, again, like I'm like a weird like I cry all the time, like dog ads like on TV make me weep. And then like I think about witches who like gut people and drink their blood.
I mean, it evens out.
Yeah, it does.
So it's okay. So you're still
It
sane.
keeps me like stable. I think.
Yeah, at least you're like not all like
Sheer violence and then like emotional meltdowns.
like
Makes me
it's
a very
okay.
stable individual.
It does. It's okay.